Hey, hello everyone. Shriram here. Hope I'm audible good to you. First, thanks a lot for joining here. Great Sunday. Good morning and good evening to people here. Let's quickly say hi to each other if you're comfortable. You hear me well? Is my audio good? Your video good? Okay, you can use the chat window. Yes, Vignesh is good. Thanks, Vignesh, for confirming it. Okay, great. Okay, that's fine. If you can give use a chat window, that's good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Great. Great. I know this is going to be a good learning lesson for next 1 hour where we talk about something on Agile. Before going there, first I'd like to want to thank you all for being here on a Sunday. Being Sunday is always a packed day with the family or at least take some rest. So on top of that, you all came online. I appreciate your time. So what we're going to learn here, we're going to spend some time on what is scaled agile and a little bit on what's happening with new trends in scaled agile, because this scaled agile is being a trend in the market. So Shriram, why do you call it as a trend? Something which is making the corporates and organizations to look for, hey, can you give results? See, these organizations or the corporates, what they look out as, what is the best system in the world which can give me a predictable results. All right. So we are learning a lot of systems in this world for last 100 years or 200 years or maybe last 50 years very aggressively. Which model can give us a result which is in a predictable way? Now I'm talking about predictable, right? In the sense you can judge this way or this set of actions and this set of principles can give some results. Like this, they're working out for so many years. Between 1980 and 2000, a lot of things happened. And this 80 to 2000 is a timeline. The industry started shaking more, understanding, hey, the certain old formats which we are trying is not working well for a technology based, or we call it as information technology. It doesn't work out because changes are pretty high, and also the customers' demand is different, and their thought process is changing then and there. How to accommodate that? So there was a timeline that 80s to 2000, some thoughts popped up where we come to know about the agile concepts coming in. Now, what we're going to see here is agile. At least I know, at least some set of people here heard about agile. You may be from IT industry, non-IT industry, but now agile is becoming a trend. Whether you like it or not, at least you have to hear it. Okay, there is a word called agile. Okay, I think even in my family, some people know what is agile a little bit, even though they don't practice anything. They keep talking agile. It is nothing but how quick you can get back. It's called reflex agility, right? The reflex. Now we have gone to the level where people started assuming that you know agile. Now they're asking what is the next stage, advanced. Many are asking me, first of all, I didn't learn the basic itself, man, where I go to advanced level. So still that area is a gray area. We cannot tell everybody's expert in the market. But the point is, how can we learn basics and also go to the mid level and then go to the advanced level? One problem in the industry is people think that the moment they read the book once, they become the expert and they become a surgeon in the industry. You cannot. If you read something about a heart surgeon, maybe 2 3 months, doesn't mean you become a surgeon to start doing surgery. You have to practice it. It will take time, right? So in that scenario, whatever we're going to discuss here are there in the industry, are going to be there in the industry for a long time. So don't be too urgent. At the same time, don't feel bad. I didn't learn it. It's a continuous process. You learn it. So I'll give some hint about where this comes out and what we are having in a scaled agile, which is released again in February 2021. That is this month. They came with a version called 5.1. We'll learn about it. And let's learn about what this course covers it. They have a 2 days of course. Scaled Agile Institute has given us a 2 days of course. In this 2 days, what they cover. If I learn in this 2 days, will this be applicable to me in the job? Will this give me some sort of market trend when I go to the job opportunity? Ultimately, that's two things, right? One, I have to apply in my job, get a better results from my corporate. The other one is my resume should look good, right? So ultimately, that's what we look into. So we will see, is this covering these factors? And then we'll take some of your questions, right? That's the intention here. Okay, what I do is I'll quickly bring up a whiteboard to give some topics on this area. Here we go. Here we go. There's my whiteboard. Hope my whiteboard is visible. Primarily, you can chat with me. At the end of the program, I'll open up where we can start talking to each other. Great, good. Thanks for confirming. Let's go. Let's go. So I was talking about the timeline of 1980 between 2000, right? This is a time, crucial time. The IT boom was going really well. So in this timeline, we started talking a lot methodologies. Some of the methodologies were well known. Scrum was one of that methodology, and we have something called XP, that is extreme programming. Then we have Kanban. So these are things happening in the market well. Okay, so by this time they took essence of it and come to the concept. Not only this three methodology, few more methodologies also there, but primarily these three played a big role, very major role even today. Now from this only we got Agile. Agile happened in the year 2001. In the year 2001, few people joined, at least 17 people joined and framed. By the way, this is the basics, okay? Sometimes I will be repeating this concept few times because some may be very new here for their purpose. So 17 people joined together, framed out something called Agile. What they framed? They framed 4 manifesto, 12 principles. What they said, ideally, deliver faster. Okay, how to do faster, work in a time boxed way, have a very short time with a simplified way of working. Don't try to accumulate too much. Okay, they start delivering customer early and understand their changes. This is what they started communicating. Satisfy the customer as early as possible. This is a very simple terminology brought in. Now, what happened is this worked really, really well when they have a good team, a size of, let's say, a team size of 3 to 9 people. I'm just giving a number. And this could have a role where we called as a team. Sometimes they call us a development team. Then we have a role called a Scrum Master. I believe most of you heard about Scrum Master. There is a role called Product Owner. These guys did a great job. Okay, so Scrum Master may be one person, PO can be one person, and team can be 3 to 9 size of people. Now, what has happened here is they have a goal, and this goal is being achieved through something called iteration. What is iteration? A repetition of things, or we call as a sprint. Okay, sprint or iteration. These all working really well. Happy days. They were very so happy. Oh my goodness, we are giving great results. In 2000 or even before 2000, they worked in Scrum and XP. That's what working out. Now, slowly something started happening. What started happening is one team is really good. Hey guys, one team is really good. The team, what you say, 3 to 9 people, one team is really good. Fantastically great. Now the question started happening. What if I have another team, that team also working for a common goal? Okay. Okay, it's not one, two team. Okay, it could be another team, the third team. There could be another team, fourth team. There could be another team, fifth team. Oh my goodness, the team size is going high. Yes, possibly. Highly, highly possible. All these 5 teams can work on a common goal. Imagine the approximation size of, let's say, 8 people per team into 5, you're going to get how much? Right? Nearly 40, 50 people going to work together. Now, this 40 people working together, it's not a new scenario. It is happening for so many years. It's not something new, right? But the problem is you have to follow these basics of Agile, but deliver early to the customer and understanding their mindset, not on your own thought process. You have to work with the speed. Now, when you want to work in a speed, work on a common goal and towards customer satisfaction, needs some sort of alignment. There, the problem starts popping up. Okay. So, what happened is in the year 2005, they started talking something called LESS, large scale scrum. I'm sure some of you would have heard this LESS, large scale scrum. It's pretty good. Ideally, what they do is they'll try to combine teams and think towards one product. So now the teams can work together on a common goal using something called a Scrum of Scrum methodology. That is also was there. They called SOS, Scrum of Scrum. Okay, they combine towards do it. All the Scrum masters will go and talk. All the product owners will talk. Well and good, fantastic, nothing wrong. But again, there is no great alignment. Still, there is some more improvement needed. Even today, less is really good, working well, right? In the same timeline, in 2007, the discussion of something started, which is called as a scaled agile. How can you scale it when you want to have a more number of team members working towards a common goal and serving the customer, following the principles of agile? You don't want to slip out of it, right? Now, what happened is that timeline, the SAFe started coming out. It took time here. They started working out on the framework. It took time here. In the year 2011, they launched it officially, Scaled Agile Framework. And this framework has something which is pretty interesting. What they do is they live inside this agile concepts. Also, they brought something which really made it interesting, which is called as lean method. Lean method. Have anybody heard about lean method here? Anybody aware of lean method here? I'm sure some of you will tell it is from Japan, right? We'll tell it is from Japan. Lean means Japan. Okay. And there is some story behind that. Lean manufacturing is there, lean product development is here. See, I'll tell you what happened in the time of a world war and after that, or little before that. To be precise, in the year 1929 and 33, okay, there's a timeline where the Toyota's son, I think Kachi Toyado, I am not clear on the name, maybe I'm wrong on the name, but this time the lean concepts was started discussing more. Now, what happened is there's a difference between Japan and US. In fact, they're competing with the economy. Now, US has something, a very structured way of doing work. They have a good, well-educated and highly available research-oriented people to develop car manufacturing by the time. Whereas Japan doesn't have that much of highly qualified people with them. A limited qualified people and some limitation of resources were there. Now, there is a style of working is different. US style of working is a mass production and doing a great job with the big size. Whereas Japan has to work in an incremental way because they have one limited resource, a limited knowledge. That is where they started doing an incremental approach. I'm talking in the years back, okay, decades back. That is the birthplace where they found we have a limited resource, limited timeline, and we have to use a lean concept by reducing the wastage and focus on the goal. Okay, there's a big story behind this. Now, beautiful thing in scaled agile is they'll adopted this lean concept, lean essence, lean product development. They adopted the agile principles. Look at this, it's two are amazing combination, right? You have agile, which talks about deliver value to the customer at early system timeline. And again, lean is reduction of wastage, having a perfect go through. Now, when you combine these two, what happens is it gets a power. And now on top of that, SAFe as a framework. I'll show in a minute of time. The framework means a cadence-based approach. Now they did this, and this get famous in 2011. They give multiple versions. Okay, any new framework they keep giving versions, right? So now we are in 2021, and now recently this month only, they give a version called 5.1. Okay, don't get so scared. Every 1 year they'll give some version number adding with some realignment of certain factors because many feedback come from the industry. See, if let's say I'm going to show some video about some of the big companies. Let's say Bosch is using scaled agile SAFe. They will tell guys this is not going well. Can you adjust something like this? They'll give some advice. They call lessons learned, right? The inputs. So you take the inputs, make upgradation accordingly, so that next version comes up really well. So now coming back, in the industry of scaling agility is there for a long time. It is there for 15, 20 years. Less is one of them. Scaled agile is one of them. One more is there very famous, which is called DAD. DAD, you mean dad? Yes, it is DAD. In 2015, DAD got a little more famous. DAD stands for Discipline Agile, right? Okay, now Now, discipline agile is DAD dad or DAD dad talks about discipline agile delivery model. It's 2015 it picked up. Even before that discussion is there, 2015 it got a good shape. And here they talk a little more bigger level. They even consume LESs, they even consume safe inside them, and they tell that we are a open model where customer focused, you can use our model. That's also there, but still it is set to pick up really great, to be honest. In 2019, a PMI Institute has acquired it. They bought it. Now, PMI Institute is publicizing. It may come up really well, right? Vignesh is telling that we have LACE, Lean Agile Center of Excellence. Fantastic. Great, Vignesh. Great at doing that. Perfect. Great. Now, coming back, so these are the basics of this stuff. I know some of you are aware of this. I just thought of giving information because you should know that scaling agile is not new, but in the industry now it is pretty warm. You know what do you mean by warm? Now, companies are not working like 5 people, 10 people, right? Companies are not working with the small goals. You have a major companies in every part of the world. Specifically, if you're working in US, UK, somewhere in India, these are the countries who decide most of the things in the world. In the world, you may have 200 countries. I think we have 204 countries. In these 204 countries, only top 10 countries decide most of things. In top 10 countries, definitely US going to be there, China going to be there, or UK and Australia going to be there. And definitely India plays a major role of service. You like it or not, you are the service segment. You have to serve rest of the 190 countries. All these countries need system to be developed. And now what scaled agile is talking is every organization is a technology based organization. Shriram, what is this technology based organization? It may be a company of construction. A company of construction will have 20% of their knowledge on the technology. Definitely, right? You should have some design going up. You should have some automation of system going to happen, right? If you are an automobile industry, definitely technology part of it. Medicine, technology part of it. Education, technology part of it. Now, what is scaled agile is debating is every organization is a technology organization. So you need to know how to scale at a bigger level. The companies which learn this skill will be the one leading the system in next 20 years. That's a study. Sriram, why we need all this study to me, man? For you is you have to learn first basic agile. What is agile all about? On top of that, you have to learn how to scale at a bigger level. Now the question is, why should I learn it? You can ask me, why should I learn it? Because corporates going forward will not look you, do you know agile? They will ask you, can you scale the agile? Because when you want to apply for the senior level, there is a definitely a demand. Can you handle more than one team towards a common goal and deliver as early as possible? You will tell that, okay, I'm an expert in Scrum. They'll say, happy, you know how to handle Scrum. Scrum and all, we know it for 20 years. Now, what is new? When you come to what is new, you have to know either LESS, that is large scale Scrum, or you should know DAD, Discipline Agile, or you should know Scale Agile. But fortunately, what happened is Scaled Agile is a trending in the market because of their systematic framework approach. And people liking it, their communities are so big. When there is something good, people start following it. Now, that is what happening with the Scaled Agile now. So what I'll do is, I will show the framework, what it looked like, and I'll show something on 5.1, which came in 2021 February, right? Where I'll explain some concepts there, you'll get some idea, right? There it stands. Good. Hope this gives some basics for you. Did you got some idea? Quickly, I'll jump to the segment, right? Always it's good to know the history, when you know the history, you feel so great. Oh, okay, this is what I'm learning. But anyway, for a lean and other concepts, there are a lot of factors there. But again, I'll come there a little later. For now, I'll take you to Lean Agile. Where is it? Here it goes. Shit. Hope you see a screen. Okay, you should be seeing a screen. This is a screen which is shared from Scaled Agile Framework. Okay, some of you would have seen it, some of you seen for the first time. Okay, now what happened? I'll quickly talk what they're doing here. And what I want to talk to you is, first of all, understand Scaled Agile Framework is not something which is very new in the world. It is something which we're discussing for last 100 years or 1000 years, but they have put in a very organized way. That's the only thing. So why you tell that, man? I thought scale digital is something in newly innovation. Nothing to innovate new, right? Every system has an input. Some work will happen, some output has to come. The input, work happen, output, this is there for thousands of years. Now the point is how early you can deliver with better quality. That's what they're asking. The same thing could be in a different companies in different format. Now, point is, how do you put things together? I feel safe as assembled it properly. They have made a good framework out of it. Let's see what they assembled here. When they say assembled, I will bring out the very interesting factor is they pulled out the methodology. You can see here. I'm putting a red box here. If you see this, these three are key Scrum frameworks or Agile frameworks or Agile methodologies like Scrum, Extreme Programming, Kanban. These are three things really, really shaking in the market. Really worth reading it. You no need to come to SAFE and read this. You can read it alone also. But when you read the SAFE, it has some meaning why we learn this. What is the essence of having this information inside? So these three are there from 1980. Some of them are in 1940s. Kanban is all pretty old. Scrum came in the 1980s and 1990s. XP came in 1993 timeline. Now what happened is Scaled Agile brought these three things inside and found, guys, you decide for your team whatever method you want to use. Use Kanban, use Scrum or Extreme Programming, have it as. Yeah, that's how it is. They made it. Now, what I like more with SAFE is they have a good framework. Shriram, we keep on telling framework. What is that framework? What you see here, right? Okay. By the way, you can see a lot of designs, some snake dancing there. Okay, these are nothing but a framework. What is a framework? A framework is a systematic approach. What it mean? Now, usually in a Scrum, what we do is we will do a planning. Let's say Monday morning. Monday morning, I'll assemble the team. We will talk about, hey guys, next 10 days, what we can do. Kind of, we do a sprint planning. Next 10 days, what team will work. A planning will happen. Based on that, a team will work for 10 days. This is for one team. One team is happy. A small family, it is happy. Imagine a joint family. Bunch and bunch of people, you are going for a marriage function. When five, six people going for a movie, that's fine. When you have 50, 100 people in a family going for a marriage, just like that, you cannot start, right? You need at least some set of planning to be done. That planning happens in a place called PI planning. PI planning is a program increment. Next 8 to 12 weeks, what team can work? It's not what team should work. If you say one team should work, it will become a predictive approach. It will become a waterfall model. Okay. They don't want to go to waterfall model. They tell what team can work. Yeah, approximation of planning will happen in this 2 days of time. I'll show you a short video how they do this planning because the core essence of scaled agile is having this planning. When they do this planning and the team works in a systematic cadence. Cadence is why needed. Cadence needed because you can give delivery on a predicted timeline. You can assure it on 8th of March delivery will happen. How? When there's 150 people is in your team, all 150 people will work towards a common goal in a systematic approach. So what happens is that dependencies are resolved. Am I able to talk about that point? When you say five, six teams working together, there'll be multiple dependencies and constraints. The main purpose of having everybody together is how can you talk to one another and resolve the problems and constraints so you can deliver it on time. It's a little more factors are there. I will talk when I take the classes. In fact, we take classes on March 6th. It's going to start. Quickly, the point here is putting things together and having a cadence in place and making a plan accordingly to move forward. So that makes interesting, right? Now, what I'm coming back is I'm telling that there is something called Agile. principles tells deliver early, and a lean talks about reduction of wastage in the system. When early delivery and reduction of waste come together, that becomes very interesting factor, right? For information, what happened is in 5.1 there made a slight upgradation. For example, they given something called development value stream, and there is something called operational value stream. If you are coming from the project management industry, you will completely see that development means something getting newly created, which can be an outcome which will be used by the customer on a long run basis, that is going to be operational. Development is creating creatively new thing coming out, solution comes out, a solution will be used continuously by the customer. ICICI bank is looking for a new software, we develop it, development value stream, a new development value stream, ICICI new software is developed, and then operation value stream continues to maintain it, more addition, more enablement, keep going on and on and on. Yep. Okay, these are not new things, this is all there in the world for a long time, but here they don't use a word called project, they use a word called product, a whole life cycle. Yeah. Some of the terms, terminology, English words, they try to slightly change it because they don't want to repeat the same word of other project management models. So they use a different terminology. If not, this is the same concept which you can read in lean books, you can read in agile books, but they're really organized well. Now, why corporates are rushing for SAFe? It is because it has a systematic approach of layers. What is a layer here? You can see a layer of, this is an enterprise. It could be your company, my company, it could be Amazon, it could be Google, their enterprise. And this enterprise has a strategy at the high level of goal, right? And the strategy will be aligned with the deliverable. It's going to come out. Now, why SAFe is highly recommended is every action or every outcome is aligned with the strategy of corporate. I'll tell the meaning behind this. When the study conducted how much projects or products are successful in the world, the percentage is pretty low, even lower than 20%. So what is happening rest of the percentage is most of the deliverable or outcome are not aligned with the corporate's goal and vision itself. You may be surprised. Really, corporate strategies not align the deliverable. Many got deviated. Something they thought at the beginning of the year, when they deliver it, something different is happening because of lack of communication, misalignment, lot happening. In scaled agile, they try to keep all the alignment tightly packed. Still, loopholes are there. I'm not saying everything will be perfect, but they are better than any other system in the market currently until somebody comes to the market. Until now, they are really good. Okay. So, what I'll do is I have to show you something which you may like. There is something called PI planning. Okay. This is a very important spinal cord of the whole system. What they do here is they meet for 2 days. Now, because COVID is happening, everybody meet virtually. In these 2 days, the whole group of people sit and talk about what we are going to do 8 to 12 weeks. I sometimes see this as I'm going with all my joint family members for a marriage. Let's say 150 people, elderly people, younger person, all are going to happen. Now, what we'll do, at least we'll sit and talk how we are going to travel, what we are going to do, how we are going to attend the marriage, how we are going to come back. At least we make some basic stuff. Now, the 2 days of plan will resolve a lot of conflicts, resolve a lot of dependencies, at least give some words, talk about the risk which can happen on a project. You can mitigate the risk, take the ownership of the risk, resolve certain conflicts. These all will happen there. Now you can question me, is it worth the effort, Shriram? Are you putting such a effort? Is it worth it? I will tell you 100% it's worth. I was part of this program when I was working different projects. I have to sit there for 2 days and work with them. I found it's interesting because at least you'll see the face of your team members. You can talk to them, you can understand the problem, resolve then and there. Even if you can't resolve it, at least take a note of it, we will start working. That's what I say, that in this planning, they will decide what team can do or what team shall do, not should do. Should do, if you put a point, it becomes predictive approach. It becomes a waterfall model. It becomes enforcement on the team. No, it is something what team can do. On top of that, you can add and remove. It's a team's responsibility. Nobody forces you. Right? That's what they do here. Cool. Good tool. Um, Vignesh is putting totally something like that, and two painful days at times. Seriously, Vignesh. I remember the first time when I went for this PA planning, I don't even know what it is. I had little idea, I traveled it. I thought in the flight I will read and go there. You know, flight, what will happen? You will sleep well in the flight. You won't read it. When I went there, these guys are talking something X and Y over my head. Nothing was happening. Only after second day, I understood something on the rhythm, or able to talk. Still, it was not productive for me because I was not prepared. But the people came there was so prepared. I was so surprised. My guys, these guys are prepared well like anything. The second time when I went, I found really interesting because I was prepared what to talk, what to ask questions. I met some of our system networking teams to understand some of the basic stuff. I met the principal architect of the company because the architect will talk about the design of the whole system. I met some of the technical advisors who give which version to use, why we have to use. They even talk basic stuff, version control. They even talk about some of the basic technology factors in the forum. So they come and present in front of everybody. It gives a common understanding. We call it as transparency. If you read Scrum books, in Scrum, one of the pillars is called transparency. The more you keep transparency, if 150 people understand the same technology, same goal, same concepts, resolve the conflicts within them, clear the impediments or any blockers or constraints, you can move faster. That's an assumption, right? It's again go back to people like you and me. How do we implement it? So what I do is I'll stop here and I will play a video to show what they do in these 2 days, because that will give you some idea. Then we'll come back and explain some more concepts. After this, so far good. Are you getting the concepts, what I'm explaining here? Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. Okay. Here it goes. Let's listen to the video which talks about PI planning.
I think it really makes a difference having all people involved on developing a high quality product and valuable product to production together. And it really empowers developers as we have the opportunity to go directly to product owners, to architects, and we all have, let's say, an aligned view. So I would say that we break the hierarchy, and when we have the opportunity to have a voice and to explain why do we think this has to be done in some way, we have the opportunity to raise some risks. And I think in our daily tasks we have this bigger picture in mind. So maybe we may differ from the plan a little bit, but we always have this idea of what we are doing, but more importantly why we are doing it. So the business gives us feedback on what they want to have, what it gives value to them. And so I believe without this kind of exercises, maybe we will be developing and we will be doing our job very well, delivering high quality code, but we will not have this big picture of why we are here and what is the product we want to deliver.
I really like how we've evolved in that process, how we've used the framework to shape the needs of the client, to shape the needs of the teams. We've injected back retrospectives, feedback from exercises that we've been doing. You take into account that this is the 8th edition of this type of PIs, and we've set up different designs for the exercise based on those feedbacks. Not only from a setup of how the teams are working together, but also management of the backlog, the processes to arrive to the PI itself. So it's really a long journey, and we keep learning, and we are evolving also the tool that SAFE as a framework is giving us.
So our client is undergoing a multi-year transformation program. Traditionally this would have been implemented with waterfall methodology and all of the risks that are associated with that. I think we understand them well. There's obviously the risk that although the requirements and the value is understood at the outset, at the end of 5-10 years those benefits simply are not realised. What we've come to discover and what we're seeing now is the application of Agile methodologies, and particularly SAFE methodology to deliver this program, really is ensuring that those benefits are seen as early as possible. We get absolute buy-in as soon as possible. We involve every single person, every single stakeholder in that group, and we ensure that the client is seeing that value. And one of the ways we're able to do that is really to help the client in that transformation program. We'll slice and dice and analyse the value that is being delivered and make sure that we prioritise that. That's what the backlog grooming entails, and ensures that the product is of the correct value and the quality, and gives the customer satisfaction as soon as possible.
So I'm the delivery manager for this program, and one of the things that we've learned is that in order to deliver a successful program, you really need to act on different dimensions. So you need to define the product in a way that it can be delivered incrementally and in an iterative way, so that you improve your return of investment from a business point of view. You need to ensure that you have the right people with the right roles and aligned to that value. And you need to design your process in a way that enables all that to happen. What SAFE is providing us is that framework that we can relate to, that common vocabulary, common structure, and principle-based way of working that we can tune to the context that we have, and hence deliver not just the thing that we need to deliver, but also the transformation that you need to do to success in that delivery.
Okay, I believe that gave a little heads up on what happens here. If some of you know about PI planning, you would have got an idea. If you don't know that, if you could have observed it, they are spending some time to get a common understanding of a big picture. I think some of them are talking about big picture a few times. It is something gives a clarity what actually we're going to do. Right. So when they plan for these 2 days of time where they get a big picture of what to do, that is what's going to happen. Now, what is there in this system of framework? So if you watch out, some of the things are recently added in February. So what they're doing is, I won't say added, at least they realigned this content. If you watch out, they brought out DevOps or DevSecOps. That is on security. DevOps with security adds more value. So that's what they're talking about here. How can you bring security as a part of your DevOps culture? So DevOps, you can question me, will they explain how a DevOps is implemented? I will say no. When you learn a course like a Leading Safe, they will talk, these are the components available and you can bring inside to give value to the system. But definitely there is a course about how a DevOps is implemented in Scale Agile. That is a different course. But again, when you learn a course is something like a Leading Safe. Now, what will happen is you get an agility at the organizational level. So, Shriram, you will talk only at the organization level. I can't talk at the team level. You can talk at a team level as well. You can see here, team and technical agility. This is a base ground level to understand how it is implemented as an agile team or teams of team. So you can see here, you will have a scrum master, you will have a product owner and agile teams. So this is teams of teams working there, which is taken care by team and technical agility. But if you remember, I'm telling that we will talk at the organizational level, the enterprise level. So why there is an importance that we have to talk at the enterprise level? The reason is market is looking for where somebody can lead the effort and think about agility, think about lean management at the organization level, not only at the team level. It means team level is a subset, on organization level is a superset. So when you go to the level, let's say you have 5 years experience, 8 years experience, 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience. Now you get to a position where you can have some set of team members where you lead the effort, go there. So you can be a CEO, you can be a project manager, program manager, a scrum master, you can be somebody who was a team member. Everybody can learn this to understand these factors. Now how it happens at the organization level, at organization level you can see something on organizational agility or lean portfolio management level, where you talk about the strategy, you talk about this getting into epics. If you come from the agile family background, you will understand there is something called epics. Epics becomes a features becomes a user story. You can see some points here. Okay, if you watch out here, you can see here epics that can get into features, and later features will become stories, and that is what going to be an outcome, that is deliverables. If you see this framework first time, it'll be too many content, it'll be, oh my goodness, do I need to read all? But over a period of time it becomes pretty easy. And for me at least, now most of the pictures are well known. Some of them are also new to me, because if you don't read it every day, you lose a gap there. For example, you can see customer centricity. You click off it, it'll open a new page where it'll explain. Now, what happened is Scaled Agile, I have to appreciate them because they create an amazing framework. On top of that, they give the explanation for each one openly. There is no secret here. They keep it open. Now, why we have to learn as a class and get certified is, yes, you can read this. I can go and read, or you can go and read. It's an open website. The point is, how do you know? You have to put in an organized way and deliver value in a consistent way. See, delivering value is fine. I can learn this, I can somehow apply, make it happen. Once I can do it. But multiple times, if you want to do, you have to learn it. For example, in my early days of after my college, I remember I used to assemble my computer. Those days, you have to assemble your computer because you have got to go to assembler and this guy will charge you heavily. So those after colleges, you don't have that much of money. So what do you do? In Chennai, we have some places called Ritchie Street where you go buy all the spare parts. You get all the spare parts of computer, bring home, assemble it. Somehow will make it happen. If you ask me to do again, it won't work. I tried it, many times it doesn't work. This one can, that one can, won't work. Sometimes it works. Now we cannot go like that in a project management or a product management or a delivery of agile product, right? You cannot tell one time I'll work, one time I won't work. So don't believe me. That is not the way, right? When you go to the senior most level, people trusting you. They're putting in 5 million project or 8 million worth of project or more than that, 50 million project or even 1 million project. It's a budget. It's a fund allocated, believing you, not only one person, you whole team. Now, how do you give a consistent results? There, you need to learn this kind of framework, understand the essence of it, and implement it. I see some of them fighting with the market. Why I should learn this? Can't I do without this? Yes, you can. Nobody stops you. But point is, when the world is having a proven framework, we have to align with that and try to improve it. Rather, we start fighting against it. That is the way I look into. Even I'm doing project management with the PMP, I'm doing with the scaled agile, I'm doing with agile courses, right? When I see multiple frameworks, I get a feel that these are evolving over years. Now, we as a human being, when we implement this, definitely there'll be flaw. I'm not telling this will be 100% correct. Definitely flaw will be there. But how can we improve it so that we can give results in our corporate? That is your cutting edge, where you become a great winner in the market, right? See, lean management is there in Toyota from 1929 and 1933, very famous. In the period where recession was happening, I'm talking recession in 1980s and 70s, where every company fell down, whereas the Toyota was standing tall. Now, what happened is they have a doubt on the financial statement of Toyota and want to do an investigation on Toyota. They did it, and they found it's not a fake document, it's a real document. Toyota is making profit in the recession time. Then only they start investigating what they do. There they found they use a lean methodology, they use a Kanban principle, they use a Kaizen principle, right? All things started coming out. So this lean is open to everybody in the market, but who only used it? Only few used it. Even today, lean is there. Who is using? So something is available in the market doesn't mean everybody use it. So now we in a corporate, they're expecting us how much we learn it, what is the essence you can get out of it, and you can give on the table. That is where the market is moving towards. Anyway, for leading safe, there are a lot of content. It is a 2 days of program. I can explain more on that. But quickly to give a heads up to you, what you have to see in this picture when you browse yourself, understand first of all who are these guys. Sorry, when you go to this framework, I want you to visit it, understand these roles properly, because these are the roles which is going to help you. You may play one of this role. You may be a product owner, you may be a release train engineer, you may be a scrum master, you may be a team member. First understand these roles really well, right? That's very important. And understand these agile methods, what they do here. Importantly, you understand this, right? And also understand this framework structure. What is the cadence they follow here? How do they do it, right? And primarily understand something called agile release train. A team size of 50 to 150 people or 125 people join together and work towards a common goal. How do they do this? Understand these basics. Now these basics are coming as an essence of certain principles given here. If you watch it here, core values, principles, stuff. Some of us don't like reading these kind of elaborate principles. We directly want the implementation. Show me how it works. Yes, that's also fine. Learning how it works is fine. How it works comes out of this principle. See, for an engine in a car, there are certain principles to be followed. Then only an engine will get ready. So we are very interested to do the engine, not learning the principle. So it's okay either way, but you have to learn those factors also, which will really help you a lot, right? Good. That's a portion of it. Quickly, I'll touch some more factors. Now, how to learn this? That's a question. The question here is there's something called leading safe. One of the certificate, there are a lot of certificates. One of the certificates called leading safe. Now, in this leading safe, they try to cover most of the major stuff about scaled agile. In scaled agile, if you have a good amount of big view, the whole big view is given in leading safe certification, because they try to reach out the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? If you go down, you can see here, these are the people who can come for the certification. Look at here. It can be CEO, project manager, program manager, scrum master, agile coach, consultant, change agent. Anybody can come for this course. Now, what they do here in this course, that you have to see. In this course, in 2 days of timeline, you will learn certain factors. What you learn? You learn how to thrive in the digital age. Are we in the digital age? Yes, we are. We are in the very serious digital age. That too, after COVID happened, every country and every community is competing each other. Who can pick up the market? People understood very well digital things are the one revolutionizing, going to be revolutionizing. Now, before COVID also it was there. People don't realize it. After COVID, it became very clear many things going to be totally digital. Now, who can pick it up the speed? Who can scale it? Who can sustain the changes? They are the one going to thrive in the market. Going forward, agile and scaled agile will be in crazy demand for this reason. Then we learn how to become a lean agile leader. You yourself, you can see here, lean, agile, both are going up as a leader. Then you establish a team, how to do the stuff with the team. And this is a place, the solution with the agile product delivery. How you deliver product using the framework is explained in this chapter. This chapter number 4, which talks elaborately that. And then talk about lean at the portfolio management level and how to lead the change in the organization. Ideally to have, say, very 5 to 6 chapters, which goes through the 2 days of program with a hands-on experience, how to implement it. See, it is not only theoretical, right? You have to do hands-on. So you will frame a team, you will frame an agile release train, you will do some PI planning, program increment, the video which I showed, you will do that. And that's the way you learn it. So Shriram, when I learn it, next day, can I implement it? I will say no. Even if you do in the classes, it'll take some weeks of time to digest it and start implementing in a corporate. But good thing is when you go back, you will have a knowledge telling that I know what is agile, I know what is the lean management, I know how to put things together, I know how to scale agile works. That's how it works. That's pretty much all the information. Cool. Any questions I can help out here? I have to talk something on exam also, right? You can put your questions in the chat window. By the way, I will see if we can. Yep. Okay. You can even speak up, put your questions. Let's listen to you. Quickly, I want to show you something on the exam part. Hey, by the way, if anybody here from the PMI, that is, you have a project management institute certifications like PMP, ACP, when you take scaled agile classes, you get PDUs, professional development unit. You'll get how much you get if you have a PMP with you, you get 15 points. If you have what do you have ACP with you, you may get 9 points. This will get added when you complete this course because they have a understanding that the knowledge given here will add points for those certification also. That's interesting, right? That's good. That's good. So exam details, something on exam details, I'll talk about it before I open for the question. Now, even though we say 5.1, the framework, now that we are in the 5.0 certification going in the market. Now 5.0, what happens here? That's a passing score. Yeah, this is very important, man. Yes, very important. You will have 45 questions exam where out of which 35 is a pass mark. So how the exam happens? This exam happens like this, right? Look at here. Safe exam. Now it's a multi-choice exam. Multi-choice exam. Okay. Now you will take the exam web-based, closed book, no outside assistance. It's a time box. For this 45 questions, you may get 90 minutes of time where you will write this exam at your laptop at your convenience time. It is not proctor based, but again, it's a closed book exam. You will write on your own, right? That's how it works. Good. Look at here. It's a 90 minutes and it's a 45 questions exam. It's a pretty decent exam where you learn this book. You learn the 2 days of classes. There is a PDF, a study material. You read it once and you can clear the exam as early if you already have an agile sense with you. Shriram, I'm not into agile, man. I'm different industry. I'm sure it will take at least 2 to 3 weeks of time because if you're totally new here, it is unfair to push you to write an exam without learning the basics. If you're totally not into agile when you come here, I would request you please read 2 to 3 weeks of time. If not, you may clear the exam by pushing here and there. But when you go out to the market, you cannot speak the language. For that reason, you have to learn it at least 21 days. Now, what is the validity? When you register for the classes, Scaled Agile is made like this. When you register for the class training plus exam. Yes. If you come from different institutes like a PMI, in PMI, you will take classes separately. Exam is your wish. You can decide when you want to write. You'll pay the fee. That's one model. Scaled Agile is a different model. They kept club together, class and exam together. That's why the fee will be like exam fee included in your classes. Now, this exam fee included doesn't mean lifetime. It's only once. Okay. What happens is they'll give you 30 days of time. Look at here. Oh, very clever, right? Yeah, they'll give you 30 days of time. See, our guys are like that, When you give a time, write the exam anytime, in life, you won't write the exam. I'll tell you, after the class, they're telling that, okay, Shriram, class is done, write the exam when you like. You will not write the exam. So somebody has to push you. That push is they're giving you 30 days of time. Within 30 days of time, you have to take the exam for the fees what you paid. In case you can't take it, you have to pay some $50 or something where you have to take your exam. Right? That's how it is. It's a minimal cost. I keep it there. A point here is classes plus reading plus within 30 days taking exam is a decent stuff about the skill agile. Good. I think that gives some idea. Any questions? I can help out here. By the way, you can unmute your mic or put in the chat window if you have any questions. Meantime, what I do is I will show something on list of certifications. So if you want to go to see the list of certificates, go to scaleagileFramework.com and click Save Trainings. When you click Save Trainings, it lists a lot of certificates. By the way, I will be conducting with another SPC coach here. We'll talk about leading safe on March 6th and 7th. When is March 6th and 7th? Next Saturday, Sunday. Next Saturday, Sunday, there is a class happening where we take this 2 days of class training. Apart from that, you can also see a lot of certification. There is something called implementing safe. This is a 4 days of training. This is when you want to become a consultant. That is a scaled agile program consultant. It's a little expensive course, and also it makes you a license holder to become a consultant. It's a little bigger size. Apart from that, you have safe for teams. If anybody at the team level want to learn at the implementation level, that it is there. Safe Scrum Master is there, like CSM, right? Advanced Scrum Master, advanced level. Okay, then you go for release training. This is very good one. Release train engineer. It is in demand only when you have that capability of becoming a release trainer. What is a release train engineer? It's a chief Scrum Master. Let's say 5-6 Scrum Masters are there. You will be the center point handling them. You are the one going to run the whole agile release train. It's a very interesting role, provided you should have that capability. It is not everybody's game, right? Vignesh putting, how to move to 5.1 if already safe 5 certified? It's a very easy process. They have some enablement course. Go ahead, click and listen to all the videos. Once this is done, and there will be a small test, either you can take it or you can skip it. By that, you become 5.1 enabled. Vignesh, for information, there is no big change between 5.0 and 5.1. So they didn't make the exam mandatory. They made the exam as optional. Okay. What they did is they made a slight alignment here and there. They moved certain factors and then they said 5.1. So for your information, go play that video. You become 5.1. Simple, right? Thank God they didn't ask any extra fees for that. You should be happy. Okay, let's move a little more down. So now, release train engineer, product. This is interesting. If anybody here, business analyst, anybody here focused on product delivery, I would ask you to look at this certificate. Here, they talk about product management, or you talk about product owner. This is really trending in the market. Two things I see trending. One is leading safe is trending. Other one is POPM. Because we may be a business analyst, we may be a project manager, but I want to become a product manager who can take whole control of it. But here, one thing is you should be specialized in domain. Let us say I took an example of a Citibank. Let's say Citibank want to develop a big software system for themselves, right? Now, if you want to become a product manager in Citibank, you should have that finance and domain knowledge should be there with you. Without that, it is a little hard to become a product manager. Or if you are in a current domain, let's say I'm working in something called infrastructure area, somewhere I'm working. Now I want to become a product manager. I'll go for this kind of certification. I understand how to understand the details of the real customer, how to pass it to the team to make it as a deliverable, right? You are the key person, right? The product owner, product manager, the key folks who takes the dream and vision of somebody and convert into outcome. You are the middleman. You have to properly understand what is end user and customer is asking for and take it and give it to the team, which is a technical knowledge person. We call them as knowledge workers. When the knowledge workers do that, the outcome is going to be deliverable, maybe incremental deliverable. How do you do that? That's pretty important. Great. So that's one interesting certificate. Apart from that, we have few more certificates like a DevOps. I said, right? Safe DevOps is here. Safe for government is here. Safe for architects, Agile software engineering, Agile product management, Agile marketing with safe lean portfolio management. You will see bunch of certificates. I think it's around 13 or 14 certificates are here. Oop, pretty heavy, right? Pretty heavy. A lot are there. So, but the trending is two things I see always a trending. Leading safe always at the top. The next one is POPM, product owner and product manager. Good. I believe that gives some idea for you what is a safe, the certifications available. Also, you got some idea about there is something called lean and agile coming together, and we have a framework. So these all makes the system move smoothly. Hope it was useful session for you. You got some idea, and also you got an idea. There is something called 5.1. It is a slight upgradation. Instead of DevOps, they have DevSecOps. They divided the operation value stream, development value stream. They made small adjustments here and there. If not, more or less 5.0 stays the same along with the some upgradation, right? Great. That's good. We're at the top of the time. I want to thank everybody for participating in this program. And any questions, please reach out to us in the sense of email like support@shrilearning.com, or also you can reach out over the mobile or email or YouTube channel. We'll be happy to help you all. SAFE is the evolving framework, really demanded the market, but you can also learn the basics of Agile, right? And no need to jump to SAFE immediately. You can spend time to learn the basics of Agile very clearly well. On top of that, if you add this scaled Agile framework, really adds value. Also, there is a discussion in the market. Shriram, do I need to go to scaled Agile? Do I need to go to DAD, discipline Agile? Which one I have to go? It's up to your market. It's up to your demand, right? There is something called this is good, this is bad. But scale is a trending in the market, and most of the fortune companies are using it. If that's the case, at least for next 3 4 years, scale will be the one in demand. But since the PMI has took over the discipline agile, chances are they may tune it, they may make it well designed, and they may start marketing it more. Okay, let us not get to that marketing level, but let's understand how much this will add a value to me when I become the leader in the corporate. If you think scaled agile and discipline agile both will add value, I would recommend learn both. But don't push it in the same timeline. Give some breathing time. Learn agile, learn scaled agile, learn discipline agile with some time gap so that you take time to digest it, implement it, use it, and speak that language. Right? That is a better way of learning. Cool. Great. If no much questions, thanks a lot for
Hi, Shriram.
participating here. Oh, there's a question coming.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
so actually, I'm a certified Scrum Master and I would like to enhance my skill set on the leading safe as well. But my organization is just practicing Scrum only. So from the implementation point of view, I would not get that much of exposure where I can, part of the PI effectively. So what would you suggest on that line?
It's not only you, Vinay. There are many people have this question. I don't have any implementation knowledge in scale agile. Will I get a job? Now, to be first, I will answer this in a sense. You no need to worry about implementation knowledge at present. The reason is this scaled agile came started discussion 2007. In 11, it picked up. Only in the year 14 and 15, it got some maturity. Now, not many corporates has implemented it, right? At least in the US, it is booming like anything, whereas country like India, it is still in the implementation stage. We get only the details of implementation. Now, many companies yet to pick up, but at the same time, you may not have excellent experience in scaled agile, but you have to speak that language. So many corporates are assuming in next 2 to 3 years, many technology and agile projects will become a scaled project. I'm not talking only for safe, scaled project. You have to make it bigger. That's a market trend. So many companies are trying to recruit people and keep with them who have this knowledge. And tomorrow something comes, they can show, hey guys, I have the people ready. First thing, that's the one thing. The other one is they want to see, is this person capable of talking agility at the organization level? If I recruit this person, will this person add value to my corporate? Not talking only at the team level. You should talk team level. I'm not saying no. Apart from team level, can you talk at the corporate higher level? So that mindset people are expecting. So when you learn safe, don't worry, will I get the implementation right away? Don't worry. Learn it, keep it with you. When the time comes, you'll open the door. Right? That's a message I can convey now. Good for
Okay.
you.
On the one follow-up question on that. So if I'm practicing, say, Scrum Master from 4 or 5 years, so what would you recommend, leading safe or RT, release train engineering? If they are not hierarchical dependency, then what would you recommend?
Okay. You're asking whether can I go for RTE or leading agile? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. RTE is good when there is a demand for it right in front of you.
Okay.
If not, I would not recommend to jump to RTE now, because first of all, you have to learn what is scaled agile. Then only you have to add a layer called RTE, because RT is a very specialized role where even though you work as a Scrum team members here, your corporate should have some visibility in next couple of months or a year. They're going to frame Agile release train, and you're going to be part of that, where you're going to drive the show. If not, if you learn it, it is going to be a little gap there. You won't utilize it immediately. It will stay as a burden to you. Rather, when you learn leading safe, what will happen is you will get the visibility of all the system inside the safe. You will speak the language what need for scaled agile. And when a demand comes, they ask you to become an RTE. There you can go for it.
Okay.
That's my thought, because it's also a little expensive. RT goes on expensive side, where when you learn it, you have to implement it, you have to be part of the team, right? By the way, is your organization thinking of framing something like teams of teams now? Are they working on it?
Yeah, they are planning. So we are moving to some different framework now. So
Okay.
that can
Okay,
be
then fine. Then fine. If they are working on that and they're expecting you to be a chief scrum master, please go for it. But before going to RT, first you should understand what is the framework of scaled agile, right? That is
right.
only help us.
Okay.
That is very
Thanks a lot.
important. Basic is important.
Yes.
Great. Great. I think that's good. Hope that helps to Vinay. Hey, Vignesh, thanks a lot for joining, because I know this Sunday evening catching up people is not easy. Great. Any more questions I can help out?
Hi,
I'm good,
Shriram.
Shriram.
How are
Thank
you?
Hey, Vignesh. Yes, Vignesh.
Listen, I'm good. Thank you so much, Shriram.
Thanks a
Have a nice
lot.
evening for the rest. Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
Great, great, great. Good. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. So by the way, thanks all for joining here. I have given some heads up on what is scaled agile, what is there in 5.1. Later, we'll catch up on more scenarios and situations. We'll talk about it. And this Saturday and Sunday, we're starting with a new batch of session. If somebody has need more information, reach out to Rahul, our executive, or reach out over support at ShriLearning.com. We'll be happy helping you. So keep learning, keep upscaling yourself, because market has more demand for well-organized, well-learning person consistently. They look for the people who has a learning ability, right? Let's do that. And reach out for any help and any guidance. We'll be happy to help you. Thanks for being here. Have a great Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ankur. Thanks, Prasna. Thanks, Ruchita. Venkata.